prices are guaranteed.
Back here in Gatwick's New North Terminal, this is the baggage reclaim area. They tell me that the baggage check system they're using means there's more chance of you and your luggage finishing up in the same place. That's a good idea.
For our final report, John Carter went to Wales, to Pwllheli, where on the Llyn Peninsula you feel very much in a foreign country.
Rydw i wedi gwneud hyn dros yr bir, ond hyd yn hyn bob amser in Saesneg, which means, I hope, I've done this all over the world, but until now, always in English. It's a reminder, like this great castle here at Criccieth, that this is a very Welsh part of Wales. In fact, you'll hear the language spoken more often than not, and coming to the Llyn Peninsula is in many ways like going to a foreign land.
There is a language barrier, but it's not so much Welsh as the heavily accented English that local people speak. Once you've learned that Trith is beach and harbour is harbour, you're more or less home and dry. There's no foreign frontier, no customs control, no duty-frees, but you have to pass a barrier of sorts to get onto the Llyn Peninsula. It costs 5p to drive through Porthmadog. No, of course you don't need a passport, that's just a bit of Welsh fun. The tranquil beauty of the area is obvious, even though the weather wasn't too good when we visited. I guess that in Britain you have to regard sunshine as a bonus. Rain or shine, there's plenty to see and do hereabouts. There are first-class beaches on the north and south coasts and plenty of sea fishing and water sports facilities. At Abersoch, they were taking sport seriously. The local yacht club was holding dinghy races for all comers. Here, as elsewhere in Wales, one type of holiday accommodation is extremely popular. Many working farms now look upon the tourist trade as an extension of farming, harvesting profits from a crop of summer visitors. For families, a farm is a good base. At Gwynffryn Farm near Pwllheli, buildings have been converted to provide half a dozen apartments, sleeping from 4 to 8 people. It's self-catering, though meals can be provided, and there's also a laundrette, games room, barbecue and play area. This is one of several local farms offering accommodation, inspected and graded by the Wales Tourist Board. If you mention Pwllheli in the context of holidays, then inevitably the name of Butlins crops up. In that sense, it dominates the Llyn Peninsula. But though the redcoats remain, much has changed. It's not a holiday camp anymore, but a holiday world, and open to day visitors for £3.50 a head, £2.50 for the under-14s. The way you stay is different too. Butlins now has luxury caravans. A family of 6 can have a week for £347 in high season. For £15 more, they could have a Snowdon Lodge, a solid log cabin with 2 double bedrooms up and a 3rd down. Very Scandinavian. Didn't I say it was almost like being abroad? There's a lot to see all over the Llyn Peninsula and many ways in which to see it. You can go on day or half-day coach tours or use your own car if you've brought it. The Festiniog Railway, on the other hand, is transport and holiday experience all in one. Steam-powered nostalgia. There's nothing to beat it. At Beddgelert, a few miles away in Snowdonia, a disused copper mine is now a tourist attraction complete with realistic light and sound effects and lots of social and historical information. Set in magnificent scenery too. Back on the peninsula's north coast, a place called Porthdinllyn has a pub on the beach. The Tea Coch is popular, but never on Sunday. That day the pubs stay closed around here.
I said that coming here was a bit like going abroad, didn't I? But after 2 or 3 days, I thought I'd got over that feeling of being in a strange land. I thought I'd got this bit of Wales sorted out in my mind. And then I come across this.
This, of course, is Portmeirion, created over the years by a magnificent individual called Clough Williams-Ellis. He built it just as the fancy or the fantasy took him. All sorts of adjectives have been used to describe it, but it can't be labelled by mere words. You can visit Portmeirion for a few hours or a day, or you can stay here in one of 20 self-catering or serviced apartments. The main building, damaged by fire, is due to open next month. Another local pub with a claim to fame is in the village of Sarn. It's a cooperative owned and run by the villagers. The Tínuit, they told me, is unique. So, naturally, we had a drink or two to celebrate that fact, and the fact that the whole of the Llyn Peninsula has got a lot of good things going for it. The weather may not always come up trumps, but the scenery is spectacular, the people are friendly, and the area's crammed with interest.
A couple of examples of the cost of staying at that farm. In low season, 2 nights self-catering for 2 people is £34.50, while a group of 8 can have a week for £255 in high season.